What up, YouTube? It's your boy Nasdaq Soldier. What up, traders? It's your boy Nasdaq Soldier. And we back on the charts. Market just opened. We still on our evaluation. We just brought it back. Above 25K. The goal is 26,500. Yeah, 26,500. So $1,500 is the goal. It's the profit we gotta make. But we're gonna take our time and do what we're supposed to do. Right now, I just got this marked up as a supply. As if if both of these candles was a black candle coming down past this white candle and then pull back up to this area on the right side, or to maybe this area, this last white candle right here. Either these last two white candles, just to see, what I may be looking at, as if it's a supply. I ain't really too keen on just taking a trade, or going aggressive or anything. But I'm just marking it up just to see, what I'm saying, what I would be seeing if it was a certain type of way. Because the market ain't perfect. So as it sold down through that, what I'm saying, it just ain't do it in the time limit that it did it. I'm trying to see if sellers gonna actually come back in around these areas, since it is on a little minor downtrend that it's in right now and just made a new low. Go back up just to sell down and make another new low. That's what I'm looking out for. So yeah, we brought ourselves out of drawdown, and now we just gotta climb a little bit at a time, taking the right setups and stuff like that. So, and we gotta remember, furthest area only. So, just trying to see if price gonna actually reach up here and they sell down crazy or something like that, or up here and they sell down crazy. I'm just watching just to see, furthest area only, which this will be the furthest area. Or let's see if they push through here, we're gonna see if they can try to break past this. But we trying to see what's going on. So yeah, I'll be right back. Markets look like it's giving a little reaction right now, but it's still just not A1. So in this situation, what we want to see is maybe another setup form on the 5-minute chart, like an actual setup. If they don't sell down too crazy right now, we would want them to hold this up and give us an official setup right here on a 5-minute chart. Alright, in this situation, I would have wanted this candle, this last candle, like it tapped that furthest area, but sellers ain't coming in strong. So in this situation, I would have wanted this last candle that just closed on this 5-minute chart to the left. I would have wanted this candle to stay white. I would have wanted that candle to stay white right here, for it to break out like it just did right there. And the furthest area is literally right here where it's at. For sellers to take over, but it looking like, it's setting up to go lower. But we not gonna take it. Like, I was almost itching to get in right there, but just because it's not specific, I don't need to take this trade. So I'll mark it up as if I probably would have gotten in, but I know it ain't specific, and it ain't no reason to chase anything or do anything crazy unless it's 100%, because like, even though it is setting up a certain type of way, the candle's not the right color for me to actually get in that. So I'll wait a little second. And look, sellers actually coming in. I'm just gonna get used to trying to see what I'm trying to see. They come in a little bit right now, but I'm not finna just enter, because usually if it's not a setup how it's supposed to be, then that mud don't play out. So in theory, this shouldn't play out. but price not perfect, and it did create somewhat of a setup right here with sellers coming back in right here. But if I was to back test and come look at this, I don't actually see what I would want to see if I was to back test, and that's because price not perfect. So I can't make these candles be white, you know what I'm saying, this one and that one. So price can still fluctuate the same way, even though the candles not the same, not the right color. But just if I was to back test, it wouldn't be A1 steak sauce. So I'll be back. Now this a real deal, almost buy setup in a way. On the 5-minute chart, that white candle just pushed above this one, and the furthest it could come after it just pushed out just now is this area right here. So you would expect buyers to hold this area up right now, because they already touched this, went down, tried to go up, look, went down, wicked right back up, and they still trying to sell at this area. Feel like buyers should push through here. Yep, it's happening. If they could push it through, that'd be good. I felt like, buyers should, take it on through. You could just see the structure, but they still could get possibly stuck right here, or they can push through. But that's what it was right there. If I would have took it, that'd be my take profit up there. But I wasn't worried about taking buys just because, I ain't worried about a reversal. All right, we almost coming into a situation. My bad if the AC loud, but see, it was kind of coming to this area and almost getting stuck, almost. But now it's pushing up through the 14 EMA. See what I'm saying? So if the volume continue to the upside, it's just getting stuck at this 14 EMA, and it give us this buy setup, we're gonna have to go with this volume. Only if it get its setup, they break above here. All right, the volume just pushed through. The volume just pushed through. So we have no choice but to go with the volume. If it come back and give us our entry from this furthest area right here, we'll enter buys. If it come back and give us an entry right here, we'll enter. Because right now, that's a 1-to-1 if if I would have got in down here, predicting this reversal. Basically, that'll be a 1-to-1 right there played out. But we didn't want to take it like that, because it wasn't high quality. But this one right here, if it come back up in here and tap this and don't break this area too much, then we'll get in for the continuation. Well, the buyers kept it going with no pullback. I didn't take no trade or nothing. Since the selling pressure was in here, we was trying to see, how far they would take it if sellers was gonna come back in. They kept it pushing above the 14 EMA, and once they got above it, it never gave no pullback for me to try to get in with the volume. So we didn't have anything. Did have that one buy setup down here, but we don't take that because it's under the 14 EMA, and we ain't trying to predict a reversal or anything. So yeah, we just set that out. Yeah, we could have maybe caught the move and everything like that, but it's not that serious. There's ways I could have got into this move, but over time we'll get good at it. I see right here, price almost gave a continuation setup right here, but this white candle didn't push above that one. So it's like it's not A1. So in this situation, we not worried about nothing. Like really just finna chill. I just wanted to say that real quick. It ain't really nothing. And it's at a resistance too. So we chilling. I'll be back. And real quick, if it almost doing it right there and price the market not perfect, the furthest it will have to come back to is right here. So buyers will have to hold up this area and then volume come in for it to go make a new high. And we already at all-time highs, you see. Like we still at all-time highs. So I mean the possibility's still there for price to basically, make new all-time highs again, Can't nothing stop it. So in this situation, I don't think I would take a buy because it's at their resistance. Like if this was a setup on the other side of the resistance, then that'd be different. But since it's given a dang near buy setup right at this resistance, like that wouldn't be good. So I think I'll pass up on this buy setup if it actually play out. Like if price come right here, give a reaction and push up, I don't think I will enter it. Only because it's at this resistance, It's like it's not good. You see, price then broke through this. You know what I'm saying? Like that resistance was strong, and sellers came back in. So it's like ain't nothing. It just ain't nothing. That was a good resistance up there. But we don't just take a trade off a resistance area or nothing. We wait for a setup off of the area. So if I would have, no. See, that's why I hate. Like actually, like taking reversals be my problem. Like reversals are a good trade, but it's just I have to see the type of way I have to take a reversal. I just can't take reversals because reversals mess me up. So if I can get good at my continuation trades, then I see, in the midst of looking everything, analyzing the chart, I see how to potentially take a reversal, with a setup. Like it still have to be my candle setup to take a reversal at a resistance, and I just have to see if I really want to take it because, every trade ain't guaranteed anyway. But if price giving you what you want to see at a resistance, at a support, or on a continuation, in the middle, all you can do is just take the trades and everything like that. But, just make sure it's what you want to see, so you won't feel bad about the trade. So, I still haven't actually seen anything that I want to see, so I ain't taking nothing. So, I'll be back. Alright, price look like it's trying to turn around and go back up, but we don't know yet. We gotta wait for this to peak outside of here and then give us a pullback for us to take a buy. If it don't do that, we not worried about it. Because it'll be giving us a setup through the 14 EMA on this overall uptrend that is actually in. We just need the potential setup, which is kind of doing right now. It just broke out of there. So we will need a pullback. Instead of us just getting in right now for the buy, we need a pullback. Okay, well, that was fast. It's giving a little pullback, but we don't want to get trapped into anything. See, that's why we just want to buy, because we don't want to get trapped. So even right now, for me to take a trade, I needed to touch that furthest area for me to get in. And don't break it. If it get to breaking it and stuff like that, then it's invalidated. So now that it tapped, we needed to hold it up and buyers push back up out of here. Damn, I'm gonna have to take this, huh? It didn't stay strong. Let's see if they can push up past this. See if they can push up past here. It didn't stay strong. Oh, there you go. It pushed up. I could have got in down here, but we just want to see more volume trying to come back in. So that's why we waited a little bit. So there it is. At this point, whatever happens, happens, you know. We waited for the setup, we waited for everything. And shoot, we just gotta let it do what it do now. Looking like this might be a loss. After they just made a good push like this, and then these next ones coming right back down. Come on, we gone. We gone. Come on. My main account just hit. Dang, it came so close to take profit right there. It gotta make it. Come on. Come on, you could push through there. Give it to us. Go ahead, push through. Come on, give us our 1-to-1, man. It came so close. My live account just hit. Because I got in a little bit later on that one. Right after I entered this one, I got in at a lower price. Come on. You know, can't nothing stop it from not going. But there we go. That's the 1-to-1. 98. That's what's up. Shoot, we done with this session. Shoot, just risking 100, you know, until we, you know, just do exactly what we're supposed to do. You know, each trade that we taking, just waiting for what we exactly want to see. And that's how we gonna try to keep doing it right there. You know, I would have hated to lost that trade, you know, sitting here waiting for exactly what I want to see, and then, you know, it finally coming, and then to lose, I know it's gonna hurt me, but it's like I know I gotta experience that. You know, eventually, you know, I know I still gotta experience that. You know, and just keep it moving to the next trade. You know, but that's essentially it. You know, we sat here, we waited the whole time to see what we wanted to see, and you know, it just played out. So yeah, we're gonna try to continue, you know, $100 at a time, just pace ourselves until we get comfortable, and then maybe we size up, you know, but just gonna keep it like this. Well, we done with this session. You know, if we're able to trade tomorrow, we'll take a, you know, trade in the New York session. But this was the opening at night, and you know, it played out. So yeah, NASDAQ Soldier, I'm out.